Hello, 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 and welcome to Conversations with JR. I hope all is well with you. We are 17 days into the new year. Happy 2026. I hope that you have started or completed your new vision boards, your bucket list. Oh my God. And the people who are saying that they are setting these New Year's resolutions, maybe you might want to rethink that. I encourage vision boards and I encourage bucket lists. But you do what is best for you. Just create some goals, make a plan, and follow through. Don't worry, you still have time. We are starting 2026 with the new theme of healing and celebration at Conversations with JR. And throughout this year, I will have various guest speakers. Some are going to be authors of books, female authors of books who have survived traumatic life events. And we're going to be sharing that with you. We're going to be doing a lot of topics with social workers, a lot about self awareness, self improvement. But mostly, we are going to be talking about the healing and the celebration and the overcoming of life events. I think people sometimes don't give themselves enough credit for the things that they overcome, for the things that they triumph over. And I think that you should remind yourself that each goal, each problem that you solve and that you work through, and each goal that you achieve, you should celebrate it each step of the way. Don't wait till a big giant celebration. You can have that too. But don't forget to celebrate all the small, beautiful moments that happen to us each and every day. Now, let's get to today's topic, the power of silence. Yes, the power of silence. The act of sitting still. To some people, it is frightening. The act of disconnecting from TV, social media, their phones, people's computers, emails, frightens people because they have to be alone with their thoughts. But don't fear what you don't understand. And don't fear what you do not know how to use. Silence can be a wonderful tool, a wonderful technique for self improvement. But today's topic, I would like to talk about both sides of the spectrum. How some people use silence negatively, and I want to encourage you how to use it in a positive aspect of your life. So let's reconsider the use of silence. Like I said, it's the absence of noise, sounds, it's stillness. Nowadays, people use silence as a weapon of anger and destruction. How? By removing their presence in the form of ghosting, blocking, deleting, and just casting individuals out of their life that displease them, or they might have a little misunderstanding, or they want to get their way. They want to have their way with this person, but this person is not cooperating with them. So it's easy to do those things to people without consideration. You silence them. There are people in the situations in our lives that, yes, we need to silence them for the purpose of clarity, for the purpose of decluttering our minds and space of people and things that hinder our growth. That's what I want to talk to you about today. You use silence for your growth, to hear yourself, to hear your thoughts, to quiet those voices and all that chatter. Now, ghosting, blocking, deleting, and casting people out, that's not silence. That's being rude. That's being immature. That's a person who do not have the tools to work through problem-solving process. People use silence as a form of punishment, a weapon of mental and emotional torment towards each other. That's what they do. You see, the abrupt act of silence leaves the other party numb, disoriented, and the sole purpose is to crush them. The sole purpose of using silence against someone is to crush them, is to make them see that you're not going to get the best of me. I did this to you before you can do it to me, or I did this to you because I can. And to add injury to insult, people who do the ghosting, the blocking, the deleting, and casting people out, they go around bragging about this. They brag about what they have done to the next person. Question for my listeners. If you or someone that you know have practiced silence in this matter, my question to you is, what are you hoping to achieve? What are you hoping to achieve? Ghosting, blocking, and deleting people out of your life is a very painful experience for some people when they don't know why. When you don't give them a chance to be a participant, it's all right. Be a participant in your anger, your resentment, your bitterness, your pain, your hurt. You're not giving them a chance to be a participant in it. Dear listeners, I am here to inform you that there is power and healing in silence. Not blocking, not ghosting, not deleting, not hanging the phone up somebody, not slamming the door in their face, not cutting them off by just not talking to them. But the power of healing in science, when it is used in a proper manner, the art of getting still and removing the noise that clouds our judgment, drowning out the inner voices that are trying to connect with you. Yes, you need to separate yourself from people, places, and things and events that's causing you pain, that's causing you confusion, that's causing chaos in your life. You need to separate yourself from that so that you can hear, so that you can get your balance, so that you can even breathe. The power of silence allows you to gain clarity. It allows clear vision because discernment kicks in. Question. Have you ever watched Spider-Man and how he uses his spidey senses? I know you're probably laughing, but think about it. The next time you watch a Spider-Man movie or you see a Spider-Man cartoons, when he senses danger or he wants to make a decision, which way to go, which path to take, which door to open, what does he do? He gets still. He stops moving to get clarity on what his next move should be. They call it his spider senses. I say that we have these inner voices and these inner feelings and these inner thoughts. And if we can just stop moving, stop talking, stop gossiping, stop blaming, stop arguing, stop pointing the fingers, because we want to be right, we want to have our way, we want people to hear our point of view. Get still. Now, my Spider-Man analysis may seem silly to use, but if you take a moment to use the process of deep critical thinking about being still, void of noise, to hear your thoughts clearly. You ever hear people say, there's so much going on around me, I can't hear myself think? It's so true. You cannot hear yourself think if you got so much going on. And if the individual that you're ghosting, blocking, deleting, shutting out of your life if you're going around talking to other people about the situation and you just continue to talk about it and talking about it, talking about me, and you want the world to play the smallest violin and woe is me, the only thing that you're going to get is you're going to get all these different opinions and all these different voices and all these different suggestions and thoughts about the situation. When what really matters is what you feel, what you think, and how you should be working it out. Silence means you can sense danger when chaos is near. You can sense when there's too much confusion and the other voices who are clouding your judgment when you're trying to make an informative decision about your life, about a relationship, about a medical, situation, maybe surgery or something like that. When we have to make a decision and other people are involved, I think that they need to be in on what you're feeling, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Deleting, blocking, and ghosting people doesn't solve the problem. It may solve it for you because that's how you feel at that moment. I don't have to deal with him, them, they, that, we. I don't have to deal with them. But you know what? Deleting, blocking, and ghosting and shutting people out, that's a band-aid solution. And when you take the band-aid off before the wound heals, it might get infected. Then you have another problem. And sometimes if you keep the band-aid on too long and you don't let the wound get air. My mom used to take the band-aid off of us at night and let the wound, she would just put a little light gauze so we wouldn't scratch it and let the wound breathe. And she would clean it off in the morning and put a fresh band-aid on so that the healing process could continue. Okay? But if you're just looking for band-aid solutions, that doesn't solve anything. Now, I agree that there are times when there is a need to remove ourselves from situation and people, and family included, okay? Because the misconception is that you're not supposed to, family will be family. You're going to have arguments. No, if you need to remove yourself from family, friends, significant others, situationships, partnerships, in order for you to detach and for you to gain clarity for yourself. This is for you. This is something that you do for yourself. When there are individuals in your life that are causing you harm, blocking your way, blocking your progress, jealousy, giving you wrong advice, getting still through the use of silence is a powerful method to seek clarity. It is very powerful. It is very, very powerful. We are living in an age now where we have AI and GPT chat, and we have the telephones, and we have, all of these technologies with the phone, and there's so much going on that when do you have a time to think for yourself? Talk to yourself. Yes, have a conversation with yourself, whether it's in your head or whether you're journaling. When do you have a time? Because you're so attached to other people through devices. When do you seek clarity for yourself during silence? There is nothing wrong with getting still and removing the noise from your life, even if it's people who are causing the noise. We are constantly going and moving, and we're in offices where the phones are ringing, and we're talking to people all day long, and then you get on mass transit, and oh my God, I live in New York City, and mass transit is just getting louder and louder and louder, and people are plugging up their ears to avoid hearing the noise from the outside because they just want some peace. Getting still through the act of silence means disconnecting. You have to disconnect. You're not going to gain any clarity, solve the problem, see things clearly, make the next step if you don't disconnect. Silence means stop talking about the situation and seeking advice from other people. Ask yourself first. Talk to yourself first. You might say, talk to myself. Yes. Journal. Sit in quietness. Now, if you can't sit in quietness, how about this? Put a little jazz music in the background, some little soft music in the background. Turn off the TV. Stop checking the emails. Get off social media. You want to gain clarity. That's what you want to do. Getting still means that you set boundaries when you shut down for the sake of your own mental and emotional well-being. This is a part of your self-care. This is why a lot of people are feeling so exhausted, and it may not be a physical exhaustion. It may be a mental and emotional exhaustion because you're not getting still and you're not disconnected. You don't realize what it is that you need. Whatever the situation is between you, them, he, she, or us, it is not going to be solved by anger and blocking. Who are you deleting and ghosting out of your life? Who? Maybe some people do need to be ghosted or deleted out of your life. But silence should never serve a positive purpose in your life when you practice it in a perfect manner. Let me repeat that. I am sorry. Silence should serve a positive purpose in your life when practiced in the correct manner. When you decide to go silent, tell the people or the persons around you or somebody who's involved in a situation what are you doing and why. And why you feel the need to detach and why you feel the need to just get still and have some space. Now, here is the key. The person or the people or the situations that you're speaking to and speaking about, they may not understand and they might want to bargain with you. And they might want to talk you out of this. This is something that you're doing for yourself and it has nothing to do with the other person. You're giving them the respect enough to know that, listen, I need to be quiet for a while. I need some space for a while. I'll reach out to you. And you're not saying, I'm putting you on the back burner and when I feel like it, I'll talk to you. Or when I need you, I'll get to you. No, I need to do this for me. And I need you to respect the space, respect the boundaries, and to understand. You have to be prepared for the individuals who are not going to understand what you need and why you need it. Because they are involved. Listen, you have to make yourself clear about this space and this time and the practice of stillness, the practice of silence. To move to, you need to remove yourself from the chaos, from the noise, from the situation. And you don't owe anyone any further explanation. I know this may sound like mind-boggling to some people, but many years ago, many years ago, she was the editor of Essence magazine. Her name does not come to me right now. I was a heavy reader of Essence magazine, and one day I read something in Essence magazine when the editor was talking about when you come home from work, give yourself an hour. Give yourself an hour to making the adjustment, to detach from traveling, working, dealing with business people. When you come home, give yourself an hour. Don't listen to the phone. And that was back in the days when we had answer machines. So everybody would run home and, listen to the answer machine and you start opening the mail right away. And then if you're home with children and a husband or your significant other, everybody starts talking to you all at once and you never have a chance to detach. Silence. You never have a chance to adjust. You never have a chance to, woosah, as they would say. And I started doing that. And I still do it now, when you're living with other people, they may not understand that, but maybe you might get them to join in with you with this silence, removing themselves from noise, having to do a mental and emotional adjustment, getting your second wind before you start whatever you need to start at home. I also, many years ago, was privileged to go on a silent retreat. Now, I know my listeners probably say, I can't go in no place where I can't talk. Yes, you can. Listen, at that time in my life, I needed that 3 day silent retreat, and it was the most beautiful experience of my life. That's how I can sit in my house and have no TV on, have no radio on. My phone doesn't ring, it never rings, it's always on vibrate. I don't feel the need to be attached to all these things because I know the value of being still, silence, detaching myself from noise, not needing to be involved in everybody's relationship, everybody's problem, not having everybody calling me, not gossiping. It just goes on and on and on. And sometimes you open the door to create these problems. That's it. The practice of silence is something you do for you. You do it for you. There is a saying that once a person stops talking, this means they had enough. I hear some people say when women are in a relationship with a man, once she stopped talking, that means she's had enough and she's formulating a plan in her mind. When people stop talking and choose to move in silence, this act means they are contemplating their next move. Silence doesn't have to be practiced out of rage, out of anger, out of bitterness, out of manipulation to get people to do what you want them to do. It doesn't have to be aggressive. Because anger may lead you to walk through silence in a different manner, in a different way. Silence is a period of reflection. It is a period of discover. It is a period of resetting. It is a period of recharging. It is a period of analyzing. It is a period of taking a deep look, a deep breath. It's a period of slowing down. You might discover something new about yourself and how to work through difficult situations. Instead of just slamming the door and ghosting and having an attitude all the time and gossiping about what's going on in your life. Silence can be very healing. It can be very powerful. It's very therapeutic. I challenge you to try it. I challenge you to try coming home and just putting down your devices and turning them off. Start with 15 minutes. You got children? Get them to join in with you. 15 minutes. No TV, no computer. 15 minutes of silence. Sitting, breathing, understanding what happened to you throughout the day. 15 minutes of silence could prevent that next argument. 15 minutes of silence could prevent you from yelling and screaming and hanging the phone up on somebody and getting agitated. We're all in a world right now that everybody's angry. Everybody's overwhelmed. People are fearful. Relationships are breaking up. Stuff is just happening in the political world. Stuff is just happening. But I believe that if you practice the power of silence and the process of detaching and getting still and removing yourself from the noise and the chaos, you will discover something new and something powerful, and it will become very, very easy for you. Hey! Thank you for listening to Conversations with JR, the power of silence. I hope that you like and you share this with someone else. Conversations with JR, we are about healing people's lives through one conversation at a time. This is the year of letting your voice be heard because your voice is valid and your healing is going to be very empowering. Next session, I have something for you. Boundaries, but not the boundaries that you think. So tune in for the next session of Conversations with JR. Until then, silence is very powerful. I thank you for listening.